Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Jamming with James Vernon. And on this fine evening, we're going to be joined by the first guest of the podcast, Vincent Wong, where we're going to be having a deep dive into his life as a yuppie before we learn about the joys of moving around the UK from Northern Ireland to London and then to the big smoke. Manchester. So, without further ado, let's welcome Vincent Wong. Audio recording now. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so ready. Okay, so start now. Okay, so okay, ready. We're gonna start. Ready, steady, go. Hello and welcome back to Jamming. I'm joined by my guest, Vincent Wong. Hello.
Hello, nice to meet
Pleasure to see you this evening.
you. Pleasure to see you as well.
Welcome to my home. So we're going to start off with one question, which is I want you to describe yourself to me and to everybody else in 30 seconds.
So, I'm Vincent Wong. I'm 25.
Mm-hmm.
I was originally born in Hong Kong, but I grew up in Northern Ireland, and I'm currently working as a software engineer for a London-based company.
Is that the best you got?
Yeah,
Nice.
that is the best I've got.
Wow, I like that.
Short and sweet, you know.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Thanks, James.
No. Okay, so the theme of this podcast, if you don't already know from the title/thumbnail, is kind of a whistle stop tour through a man who has been around the Great British Isles a fair bit. So you're saying
It's a way to put it.
Yeah. So your parents are from Hong Kong, right, Vincent?
Yes, they are.
And were you born in Hong Kong or in Ireland?
So I was born in Hong Kong, but I've moved over to Northern Ireland since I was 3 years old.
3 years old. Okay, nice. So I want to start where it all began. Not actually, to be fair, it technically all began in Hong Kong, but we're going to jump slightly to Northern Ireland. So, what was it like growing up in Northern Ireland? Describe it, your experience.
I mean, it's a sort of tough one. There's a lot of different things about growing up in Northern Ireland that I would say it's quite different from if you grew up like in a city, because I sort of grew up in the countryside.
I grew up in Cornwall, so
True, I guess it's sort of similar, right?
kind of relate
in a sense.
a little bit. It was a small village, right?
Yeah, a small village called Cookstown. 12,000 people, or Cookstown in the Northern Irish accent. 12,000 people.
Vincent has slowly lost his Northern Irish accent as he moved to. That was not supposed to happen. Apologies for your ears. Vincent has slowly lost his Irish accent as he moved to London. So
I have, and it's partly your fault, I would say. I would argue it is partly your fault. Because during freshers, you kept asking me, "Oh, can't hear you. Sorry. Would you repeat that?"
I loved your Northern Irish accent.
Thank you.
I loved it.
In retrospect, thank you.
So Northern Ireland.
Yeah. So Northern Ireland. So I grew up in a small village called Cookstown, as we said. But I wasn't actually very close to the town centre. I was, I'd say, maybe about a 20-minute drive from the town centre.
Yeah.
So literally smack bang in the middle of nowhere. There were rolling hills and cows in the fields. Cockerel waking me up in the morning.
What did you do? What did you do for fun apart from hunt Lucky Charms? What was in the itinerary?
Well, sometimes you see a rainbow, you go to the pot at the end of it, and you hope for gold. But nice. In reality,
I'm still looking for my gold. I haven't found it yet.
You'll find it soon. I'm sure. But in reality, I guess there isn't a lot to do. So because I would say the closest town is a 20-minute drive away. So to get groceries is like a weekly shop sort of. And there isn't a lot to do besides school.
Do they have Tesco in Northern Ireland?
They do have Tesco in Northern Ireland.
Nice, yeah. And is it quite religious, Northern Ireland, generally?
I would say so.
Yeah.
In terms of demographics,
like choir at school, right?
Yeah. Choirs at school.
He's got the whole wide world in his hand. He's got the whole wide world in his hand.
Yeah, I would say.
If you know, you know.
I was the diversity at my school.
Nice.
Which was an interesting experience. to
Yeah.
say the least.
Cornwall was not very. I would say Cornwall was probably even less ethnically diverse. It's not very
Really? Would you
diverse.
say so?
Yeah. Um.
Was your school mainly? I mean, like mainly white, obviously, but like how many like non-white people were there in your school?
Um. I would. I would say there were probably like two people who were not white
Like in the entire school in
in
the
the
year?
entire school.
Yeah, about the same here actually.
So
So
yeah. Slightly different at Imperial. The
slightly different.
the ratios are.
I feel like being white is the minority at Imperial, which yours is.
I cannot comment. I cannot comment on this. Okay, let's get back on track before
Slightly less
this,
controversial takes
this
coming.
we have to stop. Before we have to pause. Okay, so Northern Ireland, bit tough.
Bit tough. I would
Uh,
say like it's very quiet in
yeah.
terms of it was good for studies in terms of like
Mhm.
my parents moved to sort of like
Mhm.
guarantee me get like a sort of better future, like especially for education. I think that's
Yeah.
why mainly why they emigrated,
Mhm.
and for that reason, Northern Ireland was great. I got to focus on my studies,
Mhm.
and got my good uni offer and got to where I am today. So technically,
Vincent
worked out
went
great.
to the best university in the world, Imperial College London. So
Another controversial take.
another controversial take. What? And so you left Northern Ireland to go and study in London at
Yes.
the age of 18, obviously, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the every age that you go to university in the UK. So we've moved from Northern Ireland to London, which is obviously the capital of the UK.
Of course.
And I just want people to know that Vincent is not just drinking water right now; he is drinking whiskey because he is a man of refined taste
Just like yourself.
and sophistication. Um, if I was drinking whiskey, there would be Splendor in the mix and lots of ice. Um,
Nice.
but
That's a
yeah,
different type of refined. It's a taste, I would say.
yes, yeah. So the next thing I want to ask is: so you've moved from Northern Ireland to London to start your degree studying physics. What was the biggest culture shock that you had going from the little village in Northern Ireland to the capital of the UK?
I feel like the main thing was, I guess, the diversity, as I said sort of
Uh
before.
huh.
It was very monotonous in Northern Ireland. Everyone had the same accent, everyone sort of had the same hobbies,
Hmm.
and went to Sunday school, that sort of thing. Whereas I think the thing that surprised me most being first in England was the accent.
The
It's sort
accent.
of like the opposite way around, isn't it? In like a sort of weird inverse way. But like the accent really threw me off. Is that like, oh,
What
people can have
accent?
English accent,
But what English accent? English accent is. Do you mean just like the posh type,
the
like
posh
Made in
type.
Chelsea,
Yes.
Jamie Lang,
Yeah.
that kind of vibe?
Also, the Manchester accent threw me off, but we'll get back to that later.
We will be pivoting. We'll be circling back, as the kids like to say, to Manchester later on today.
We will.
I need to stop laughing in the mic. I'm just too funny. So the biggest culture shock was just the diversity of going from
I guess
Northern
like
Ireland
to
to.
Northern Ireland to London,
Mhm.
like loads of different types of people, and
Yeah.
obviously, I think being in the big city is a very different experience because I
Hmm.
mean, sometimes I go days without
Things are just
seeing.
big.
Yeah, things are just big. That's
Yeah,
what she said.
bigger. Yeah,
Yeah, bigger and better. Bigger is
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Would
Like
you agree,
Texas.
James?
I am a man of subtleties and just uh, diplomacy. So I will not comment on that.
Okay.
But to be honest, if you moving from Cornwall, I would say I had probably the same culture shock as Vincent. Just like the going from a very boring, mundane,
Mundane lifestyle,
pretty
I'd say.
chill
Yeah.
to then going to London, where there's lots of different people from lots of different background, all kind of mixing around in one big pot, melting pot,
But then
which
I
is
guess like
great.
equally, like if you were like growing up in a big city, you'd
Yeah,
have loads of distractions and you probably wouldn't have focused as
yeah.
much. Which is my parents' argument, right? I don't know how much weight that holds, but like
Mm.
there's some element of truth to that.
Yeah, I totally agree because I always say that like I would love to go back to Cornwall, but only after I get old and retire. Whereas I'm sure if I grew up in London, I would have exactly this had have exactly the same. Whereas like I want to get out of here and go somewhere that's different.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
eventually like loads of people from London as well, they sort of
hmm
move outside to sort of raise a family,
yeah.
whatnot. We're not quite there yet, but just
Well, speak for yourself, bro. Speak for yourself. I've got a wife and 2 kids at home. They're waiting for me to come back. I have a dinner on the table right now.
do you?
Yeah, I have dinner on the table.
Okay.
It's getting cold. I need to hurry up. So this is kind of a loaded question because you obviously came to London to study, which then shaped your career.
I guess so. In a
So
sense, yes.
we're not really. Let's not think about it from a professional aspect, but do you think the move changed you more on a personal level?
I think so purely because of, the friends such as
Mm,
yourself. Positive impacts have been made because
yeah.
I think in terms of social interaction, like sort of opens your horizons a little bit in
Yeah.
terms of just a sheer variety of different people.
Hmm.
And obviously, once like people go to uni, it's a very sort of fresh slate because like not a lot of people
Hmm.
know each other. Obviously, like on the first day, we didn't really know each other.
You're
None
not
of us
supposed to know
did.
anybody, really.
Yeah,
That's the
you're
whole
not
point.
supposed to know anybody
Yeah.
unless you go to a very like elitist school. And
Unless you
I
just
yeah,
don't leave. You go to university in your hometown, which is pretty crazy.
well, that is pretty
Um,
crazy.
yeah.
Most people want to leave their hometown for university, so
Exactly.
that is a bit odd.
Um,
But I would say, like, back on topic, the main part is the sort of social aspect, which
mhm.
has shaped me on a more personal level. Like having like a good support network that was built from basically uni.
I'm trying to imagine Vincent when I first met him, but I'm struggling. I would say Vincent was probably the big name on campus, and
How
uh,
so? How so? Please elaborate.
I don't I think you did you can't pretend that I'm the only person to ever throw the BNOC term your way. I think that is
Well, I
that's
would also
just very
throw.
social social chat,
Thank you, thank you.
which is good because I can't relate. I've spent a lot of time in my room, so yeah.
I would also like to say one of our mutual friends, Alexia, has been very active on the university freshers group chat
Oh yeah.
before we actually went to uni. So maybe
Hmm.
that's part of the
Vincent was one of the like 3 people who were like the only people talking on the group chat for our hall building before we moved in.
yeah.
Which is why I'm thinking of you as the big name on campus because everybody knew who Vincent Wong was before day one because your name was all over the group chat.
For better or for worse.
I would say for better.
Thank you.
Um,
Also, I think it was mainly partly out of fear as well because I remember the costume store, which is our halls. I think it was like
yes.
there was two halls in North Acton. There was one called Woodward, and then there
Hmm.
was one called Costume Store.
Yeah.
And
Used to be the BBC's costume store. Fun fact.
exactly, but because
Um,
previous experiences, as in like previous cohorts of students, had only gotten Woodward,
it
and no one
wouldn't.
knew anything about Costume Store. So when we got assigned
The
it, we were
reviews were
like,
not good.
"Yeah, I can't
I will
lie,
say that.
the
It
reviews
would
are not
it
great."
would it would be a 1 out of 5 on TripAdvisor. Um, Preemptively, if we just look online, well, it didn't tell the full story. It was not bad
No,
hauls
I think it was the
generally.
people that made it. To be fair, like
Yeah, I
as
agree.
opposed to the holes themselves, they were
Yeah,
probably worthy of like 2 out of 5.
yeah.
But the people were a 6 out of 5, so maybe that balanced it out.
I completely agree. And to be honest with you, I think the same. I would say the same thing because I'm just thinking about now. If I was to have stayed in Cornwall, I doubt like my friends would have probably stayed the same. Friends that I had when I was going to like secondary school, they obviously wouldn't
Hmm.
have changed. So I wouldn't have met all the people that are probably most of the people. I'm not throwing shade at anybody. Most of the people who are my closest friends now were from university,
I'm the
and
same, I would say,
so that I guess that is quite deep.
for sure.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think, like, if you had the sort of same friends from secondary school to uni, they already have, like, a notion of you, right? Like, they have an image of, who you're meant to
Yes.
be, and then you sort of feel like you have to act in that way.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, for university, it's sort of like fresh slate for everyone, which sort of
Hmm.
helps you break out of the shell a bit.
I totally agree. Unfortunately, it took me until the second year of university to realize that skinny jeans were not a motive, and there was more in the world than a super dry t-shirt and a bomber jacket.
I've
So
not seen that look in forever.
I really
Maybe
wish that I could say that you've never seen me in skinny jeans,
I have,
but
unfortunately.
you have. It's not good
I
luck.
remember when that was a thing, but like,
I remember literally like spray on jeans,
please
like
never,
uncomfortable.
please never come back.
They aren't going to come back. So the move changed you for better, we can say.
You can say that. I
Yeah.
would
So
argue it did.
moving to Northern Ireland to Manchester. So spoiler, I think you probably already know this by now, but you are not currently living in London right now, are you?
Actually, for this week, I am. I would say for this week, I am living
Generally, you're not. You
in
don't live in.
Brixton, the wonderful land of Brixton.
He
Great
is.
house,
He is sofa
great
surfing right now.
furnishings.
But
Yeah,
where is your current place of residence?
I would say it is in Manchester.
He's in Manchester, and so you obviously did your degree in London.
Hmm.
How did you end up in Manchester? What was the reason that you went there? And this is 110% a loaded question. I have an answer that I'm hoping you're going to say, which will bring us on to the next segment. So if you say something completely astray, that's not going to be very good. So
Well, I think one of the
no
main
pressure,
things
no pressure.
is like sort of combination of things, really.
Yeah.
I think one of the things was that
Hmm.
I stayed for 2 years in London after I finished my degree,
Yeah.
because I had a job in London.
Yeah.
Um,
What's your job, Vincent?
so I'm a software engineer, as I said in the intro, for like a London-based company.
Sheesh.
Sheesh, not as impressive as it sounds, but um, so basically, I was renting for 2 years
Hmm.
after university, and I'd rented for basically 4 years beforehand.
Yeah.
And having to move around sort of every year was sort of having a toll. And also,
Mm.
at that point in time, the landlord decided that they wanted to kick us out or they wanted to raise the rent.
Classic.
Classic London, which sort
Hmm.
of contributes to the moving around every year problem.
Hmm.
And then the sort of second part of that was that my girlfriend is also up in Manchester,
That's the answer
so
that I was expecting you to say.
I mean, it's a combination of things. I would
I
argue,
didn't realize
like,
that there were. I honestly thought it was one. It was one reason. So it's interesting to know that because I have the same feelings. I feel like everybody has the same experience where, like, most likely if you're renting in London, it's going to be like, unless you find somewhere really nice, you're probably going to be moving around a lot. So like every 12 months, you have to go through the stress of
of
like
finding a place and then
finding a
having
place.
estate agents mess you around, and then having to put in like offers of asking
Yeah,
and finding housemates
I
and
can't say too much, but before I found this previous place, me and another humble soul were scammed, which
how so?
you do not know about it.
No, I don't know about it actually.
Oh, okay.
This is great gossip on
This
this
is this is
podcast.
a podcast exclusive.
You heard it here
I
now.
actually don't know if Ethan's going to be really upset with me for saying this, so you are getting some serious sauce. So just appreciate this.
Okay.
Um, basically, before we found this flat, we found another flat
Mhm.
outside of Regent's Park. Dun dun dun. So
Oh, you did.
if it sounds too good to be true, it's because it was. So we found a really nice flat at Regent's Park. It was a free bed. It was a reasonable price for what it
Hmm.
was. We went to view it in person, and then we made an offer. Was accepted. We were over the moon. We
Mm.
signed a contract, and then we realized that the flat was on Airbnb.
But why is that a bad thing? Just out of curiosity,
It
like,
wasn't real. It was an Airbnb. So a scammer had
oh,
hired
okay.
it
I thought you
out.
meant because there's a real flat that was put on
No, no,
Airbnb.
no, 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 no. It was so a scammer had basically hired it out for the day, and they'd shown us around like under false pretense, pretending to be the estate agents.
That is a little.
It was pretty bad, yeah. But thankfully, Monzo came through, and we got a complete refund of the money that we lost. So thank you, Monzo.
Well done,
Appreciate
Monzo.
it. We're
This
not
is not an ad.
we are not sponsored by Monzo.
But if you
Although,
do want to sponsor us, please hit us up.
yeah, we appreciate all support. We're actually currently sponsored by a leading insurance analytics company. Um,
Really? Okay.
yeah, they're called Verisk, and they happen to pay my wage every month. They've been a long time supporter, so let's give them a round of applause, please. Um, the room is vouching.
Ecstatic.
The room is vouching.
But back
Okay.
to the sort of reasoning aspect,
Okay,
right?
so
The,
one, you wanted to just escape the cycle of finding a new place at the end of every 12 months.
yeah,
And also, your longtime girlfriend who you met at university
was based there.
in London
I
had
was working
moved to
there.
Manchester after she graduated at the same
Yes.
time as you. So,
And then I guess there's also like another couple of things. Well, I guess
mhm,
sort of like a hodgepodge of reasons, but like some of which was sort of looking to try something new because
mhm,
again I'd been living in London for 6 years now.
yeah,
So at that point I thought, oh, let me just try a different city and see if I like it. I think
mhm,
at that point in my life I thought yeah, why not use it as like sort of as an opportunity?
Yeah.
And then also, I guess I guess like at the time it wasn't as important, but like now it's coming through.
Mm,
Like the value of it is like the financial aspect. Like it's a lot
yeah.
cheaper to live up there than it is down in London, which we'll touch on
Wow.
later on in the
Wow.
podcast.
Wow. Wow.
Spoiler alert.
Actually, so, how long were you going out with your girlfriend before you
Before
like
the move.
before the move? Like, how long were you going long distance?
So we met at uni, so
Yeah.
we had went out for 3.5 years at uni, or three
Yeah.
years, and then the 2 years following that was basically long distance. But then
So 2 years
also
basically.
you had to keep taking into account COVID as well, right? So the last year
COVID did happen.
of uni was also long distance. So at that
Yeah.
point, like more of the relationship had been spent long distance than not.
That's really weird to think about, to be honest,
Yeah,
because I always imagine like that you guys met at university, not like and spent most of your time together, and then went to Manchester, and then. But yeah. So you went to in this. That may be actually Is that the actual? Are you? Are you? Was that a message from the lady of the hour?
perhaps.
Perhaps she's with us.
Um,
She's with us. Okay.
your
So
mother.
no. This is a family friendly podcast. So on to my next question.
Patreon is available for the non-family version of this podcast.
No. What was the hardest part of being in a long distance relationship? Because you were in London 2 years after you graduated, right? So that was
Yeah,
2 years long distance. But what was the hardest bit of being in that long distance relationship?
I think the biggest thing, well, personally, that was quite difficult was that the accessibility aspect. Like, as in, like, sort of in the back of your mind, when you're in a relationship, you
Yeah.
sort of do know that the other person is there.
Mm-hmm.
But having someone be there emotionally isn't really the same as like over a call, for example. Like, okay, obviously,
When you
you
say emotionally, you mean physically,
like both emotionally and physically. But
yeah,
like, obviously, the emotional support is always there
yeah,
because like you can have that via call or
mm-hmm.
sort of like messaging or like
Mm-hmm.
sort of different methods of communication. But it's not the same as like physically being present.
True that.
And like knowing that someone is maybe, for example, a 10-minute drive away versus a 2 hour, 3 hour train away is a bit of a sort of
Okay, yeah.
difference, I would argue. As in
Mm-hmm.
mentally or like subconsciously, it does make a difference.
Mm-hmm. So it's just the just the fact that you know that you can't be like kind of spontaneous and like hang out like you
Yeah,
are. There is a distance, so if you want to be spontaneous, it's going to be over a webcam. It's not going to be necessarily going for dinner randomly one night.
exactly. Like it
Yeah,
requires a lot more planning,
yeah.
especially like as
Love
in, oh,
planning.
you have to do. You're gonna come up on these dates. You're gonna come down these dates,
Hmm.
etc. Like it's not the easiest to plan.
Yeah,
I mean, if there is a will, there is a way, sort of thing. But I think most people that end up in long distance relationships have a plan for it not to be long distance eventually.
yeah. I think you have to be some twisted soul to like want to like that to be your happy place, a long distance relationship. I don't think that's
Yeah,
anybody's.
I think most people that are in long distance relationships have
Mm.
had it not start long distance, right?
Yeah,
It's very rare, if
yeah.
possible, for it to.
Unless you're like on an episode of Catfish or
Yeah, like Love Is Blind or
yeah, pretty
yeah,
much. I don't know. Oh no, I haven't watched Love Is Blind. I haven't watched that. So not to be too much of a Debbie Downer. What was so we talked about the hardest part of being in a long distance relationship. So were there any surprising upsides that you found of the circumstance in which you guys were kind of thrown into? Of like, was there like a positive that came out of being in a long distance relationship for 2 years? And this could be just something like this could just be an experience, or it could be like something that like you feel that you've developed over that time, like something like that.
Hmm.
It's an interesting question.
I guess a couple of things. Well, mainly like because you're in a long distance relationship, the
Mm.
sort of need to be a better communicator like
Mm.
is
Mm-hmm.
definitely there because like
Yeah.
it's not as easy as, oh hi, you're like nearby, let's do something. Has like
Yeah.
you have to communicate your sort of
Mm.
feelings and wants and needs and stuff like that very.
Yeah. I love communication.
Do you?
Yes, I
Right.
thrive.
With
Uh,
clients.
I thrive on working as a dynamic team and leading.
This is not a LinkedIn ad.
No. Uh, no. Okay. So basically, the silver lining of it is just like the fact that you were able to like get better at communicating within the relationship because you
Yeah,
had to
and
basically.
also like sort of being more creative in sort of the way we spend time with each other.
Do you dare to elaborate, or is
Yeah,
that
just like sort of like finding games to play, or like sort of like trying to do more things over a call. Like,
more things overall cool, guys?
thanks, James. Like watch a movie together, that sort of thing.
Nice. Any favorites in terms of movies?
Uh, rom-coms actually. I've been
Rom-coms.
roped into the land of rom-coms.
Mm.
Apparently, there's classics like Notting Hill, which I haven't seen, or the one with Lindsay Lohan. Do you know who Lindsay Lohan is?
Do you mean Freaky Friday?
No, James, I do not mean
I
Freaky
love
Friday.
Freaky Friday. I haven't watched Freakier Friday because I refuse to disrespect the original movie like that, unlike the creators. But that theme tune goes hard.
I meant
I can't sing it right now, but it might come to me towards the end of this episode.
maybe. I meant just
Uh,
my luck, but okay.
okay. Uh,
Freaky
the,
Friday's a close second. Don't
I
worry.
love Freaky Friday. It's great. It's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, same.
Okay, so that's positive. And cute, I should say. I should add. So you've now moved to Manchester, and you've been there for how long?
A year and a half, or
Year and a
year
half.
and 3 months,
So
something like that.
from your perspective of like living there day to day, how does Manchester compare to London?
Hmm. Great question. Um, I suppose there's a lot of things that sort of are different. I mean, they're both like big cities, right? So there's like loads to do in both.
I
You've been
mean,
you've been up in Manchester,
I wouldn't
sort
say
of.
it's massive. It's big, but it's not
Yeah,
massive. It's
it's
bigger
not as
than
big as
Cornwall,
London,
but I mean,
but like also the sort of upside of that is that everything is very accessible. As in, like,
true that.
for example, like let's say I wanted to go to Chinatown in London, and I was
Yes.
living in Ealing, which I was previously. It would be like a 40-minute journey there, 40
Mm,
minute journey back, just to like go to Chinatown and get some groceries, Chinese food, whatever.
yeah.
Whereas now it's like a 15, 20-minute walk. I feel like that is a big upgrade.
Mhm.
And also the fact that the activities that you would want to do are
Mhm.
in a sort of 30-minute radius. Because like it's in the city centre, like you can
Mhm.
do bowling, darts, whatever, blah blah blah.
Love bowling.
Do you?
No,
What's your favourite activity?
not bowling.
Ah,
Not bowling.
darts, snooker,
No.
ping pong.
No.
No,
Ah. This is a fun fact. All of my personal legends are ping pong players. Can't name any, but just a fun fact. If you know, you know.
like who? Please name a
That
ping
was an
pong player.
office reference. Let's move on.
Oh, so you can't actually name any ping pong players.
Arvin Schweischer, like butchering that, but yeah. Okay, so how does Manchester compare to
Um,
London?
it's more rainy for sure. I think.
Okay.
I think on average, like it rains about twice as much in Manchester than it does in London.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something to get used to.
Okay.
Because like when I came down this week, for
Is it
example,
colder?
it's a couple of degrees colder.
Oh, the interesting thing is you don't have the tube, do you?
No, but we've got the tram.
You have a tram.
We've got a tram. We've got a bus network. We've got a free bus actually.
I
London could never actually.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The one thing I will say about Manchester is they are obsessed with bees. Like, there's literally a bee everywhere you look.
Yeah, but I think the idea is like a worker
Like,
bee.
calm down. Like, we get it. Have you got nothing else to give us? Is there no other
No.
juice to squeeze? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just bees everywhere. Like, it's just nothing else. I didn't see a single real bee when I was there.
Maybe you should be
Um,
happier about that. But yeah, loads of other things like there's a big Cantonese community or Chinese community
nice.
in Manchester, and sort of
Mm-hmm. I feel like
getting
I've
in
heard
touch with
that
my
before.
roots is like something I value as I get older.
From Ireland.
Yeah, but not ethnically.
Not ethnically.
Yeah, where are you really from?
Oh,
Ooh.
ooh. Uh,
There's also loads more like independent shops, I would say. Because like for London, like to go to Hidden Gem, it'd be like, oh, you have to travel.
ooh,
And now,
hidden gem.
oh, a Hidden
That is so
Gem.
gentrified.
But like you'd have to go to like Hackney or
Oh,
like
this is just undiscovered.
yeah, but like you'd have to travel far, is my point. Like to get an independent shop, or like an independent business, you'd have to travel quite far.
Does the corner shop, like the off license, not count as independent?
No, I don't think Bossman counts as independent
No.
place I'd like to visit very often.
I've never complained about his £5 munch. Never. £5 munch. If you know, you know.
You've heard it first from James.
£5 munch.
£5 munch.
Yeah.
Would you describe yourself as a munch?
Unfortunately not. But we are.
Why not?
It's not over yet. So let's pray. Okay. So back on track or on the tram. Oh yes, let's go. Let's get back on tram.
Yeah, let's get back on
So the biggest difference that we're saying is the weather between Manchester and London. Is that what we've decided? That's the weather.
No.
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
It's not the biggest difference.
How much? Okay, let's get decisive here.
Yeah.
Is it cheaper? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is it significantly cheaper?
30%.
30%. Is it? Is there as much to do?
I think there is less volume, but more the same sort of variety. If you want, yeah.
One of the things I love about being in London is the parks. Like, obviously, living in Cornwall is obviously nice scenery, but like the parks are quite accessible. Is it you leave your house and it's a 5-minute walk and you have a nice park most of the time, not always.
Sure,
depending on where you live.
But where's the nearest like sort of like I don't know natural reserve in London? Like you'd have to like go ages away, right? Peak District's on our doorstep. You could like go half an hour. You'd be out in the
So you
peaks.
can go hiking, basically, is what you're saying. That's
Yeah.
another good thing about it.
Yeah,
Get on the
loads of hiking, very
train.
accessible. James went hiking with us actually when he went up to Manchester.
I don't like hiking. It's rubbish. It's
Did
boring.
you not enjoy the views? It was very nice.
No, it was cold and windy.
James is a Debbie Downer. Pass it on.
Pass it on. Okay. So, and I had an. Oh, okay. So, don't take this next question personally.
Right.
But after you move,
why are you laughing when you say this?
The context is that he was in London like during his prime years of.
Are you implying that I'm past my prime?
No, you're not. You're a silver fox.
Okay.
So what my point is, like, you were in London when you were at university. You were mixing with people because that was your business. Like you're trying to find people to live with, etc. You got course mates and stuff. Obviously, moving to Manchester to live with your girlfriend, but more generally,
not living together, but like we see each other. Often.
Yeah, like being in the same vicinity.
Yeah.
But the question is, generally, was it harder to make friends after you moved to Manchester? And I'm talking about like native friends, like new friends.
What do you mean by as a native to Manchester?
They don't have to be. They have to be born and bred Mancunian, but like I met a friend that you wouldn't have met unless you went to Manchester. Like was it easy? Like because obviously, like for context, Vincent is working remotely, so he's not going into an office. But
True.
so,
but would you say you could make friends with like a lot of your work?
Yes, I deeply enjoy working with all of my colleagues, and I value their input in my life.
This is a sponsored segment, I swear to God. Anyway, to answer your question, I feel like it is what you make of it.
Yeah.
Because like, there's a lot of hobbies that I've sort of kept from when I was in London to go up to Manchester. Like
he's a runner, he's a track star.
Well, I try to run, but I've sort of kept on squash and climbing. So joined a squash club, squash and tennis club, and
I can attest he's a great climber.
Thank you. But I feel like climbing is a very social sport in that you're not competing against other people, right? So like,
I don't know. I'm not a climber. I don't really know.
Like he's only climbed when I've dragged him along.
We'll say yes. It's a social sport.
But basically, it is a very social sport. Like if you go to a climbing gym, like alone, you can find it quite easy to make friends because people will cheer you on. You could like, there's loads in common you can chat about. It's very easy to start a conversation when you're not actively in competition with someone, which I think is a big aspect of the sport. And
I feel like the only problem with climbing is it destroys your hands. Like I went to climbing once, and it was like I'd been rubbing my hands against sandpaper. Like there was nothing left.
But it trains your finger strength, which is good in some aspects, right?
Okay, yeah, I suppose so.
But again, sorry, back on topic. It is a very social sport, and I think
so.
In terms of hobbies and making friends at hobbies, I think that is about the same as it was in London. However, I guess like because I spent more time with my friends that are in London because I met most of them at uni, the depth of the friendship is very different, right?
Yeah.
As in, like most of my friends in Manchester, I've known for 1 or 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most of
Yeah.
the people I know, like you, for example, I've known for like 8 years, mate. Too long.
8 years.
8 years
I
too
don't
long.
actually think it is 8 years. I think it's slightly less.
2018. It's now 2025. 7 years. You heard it.
Somebody's counting.
Yeah, you heard it here
No,
first.
not Vincent, but somebody's counting.
Yeah, but if you use a risk insurance software, you can calculate in a heartbeat with about zero delay.
No,
No,
it's
no,
completely
no.
not related whatsoever. Okay, so your point is that it's not really harder to make friends in Manchester. It's just you've known them for less, so it's like it just takes time.
Yeah,
Basically.
and
Okay.
also like Holly's got a circle of friends in Manchester, right? So it's sort of
Yeah.
like again, our we've got a mutual friend of ours, Olivia, and like sort of her circle sort of intertwined a lot with her boyfriend's
This is somebody you
friends.
know,
Yeah,
Olivia. Okay.
Olivia.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, someone I know.
Yeah. Just for context, there's somebody else that we know called Olivia,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
she
yeah.
doesn't live in Manchester.
No, not in Manchester, but as in like, if your significant other has a circle,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
This is a
very
different
easy to
Olivia.
integrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Watch this space. Olivia is a junior doctor, and she's coming to this podcast real hot, real fast. So get ready.
true.
Next question. I know. I'm not. I thought this was. Again, I thought this was quite a safe question, but I found out it may not be a safe question. Do you see yourself staying in Manchester forever?
In terms of, give me a time frame, like as in like forever, forever.
Not until the day you die, but do you see yourself buying a house in Manchester, or
But I think like buying a house,
indebting yourself to a landlord, or a land baron, I should say?
I feel like buying a house doesn't mean you're necessarily going to stay there forever.
No.
You can always sell it on. You can move elsewhere, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, your hands are not tied.
Because I guess
They're
like
slightly, they're slightly
they're slightly
interlinked,
tied.
but they're not bound. They're
Yeah,
not
they're not
completely
like
tied.
handcuffed. You've
Yeah,
got the key.
but that's not the point of the question. Let's forget that you are trying to buy a house. Let's just say, could you see yourself living in Manchester forever, or do you think you want to come back to somewhere like London, or go crazy and go back to Northern Ireland,
I think like in the sort of medium
or go
term,
rogue and
or
go
go rogue.
international?
I would quite like to go abroad. Like if work
Mm,
permits, or like if I have the chance to, I would quite like to go abroad for like a year or two.
yeah.
Like Australia.
Good day, mate.
You smart.
How's it
I'd love
going?
to go to Australia, mate. It'd be fucking lovely.
Some shrimps on the bar.
Yes, shrimps on a barbie. I would love some shrimps on a barbie.
I'm actually pescatarian, so that's not a joke. I'm genuinely trying to.
Oh, are you? Are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah.
Since when?
I don't eat meat at the moment. I'm just eating dairy and fish,
That's
and obviously fruit and
but like
vegetables.
last night sort of proved that wrong, didn't it?
What did I have for dinner last night?
Meat,
No,
loads
I
of it.
didn't. What did I have for dinner last night? Oh, I had a dal for dinner.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway,
I promise no animals were harmed in the making of my dinner last night.
anyway, I would like to back on topic. I would quite like to go abroad.
Yeah,
In the medium term, like I think Manchester is a great place. But sort of the future, the door remains open.
yeah,
But I wouldn't mind settling down there, but also
yeah,
wouldn't mind settling down anywhere else. It
yeah.
depends on circumstances, right?
Mm.
As with all things, your mileage may vary, and it sort of depends.
Mm.
Probably not like it's probably a bit of a cop out answer, but genuinely does depend, right? Because like if I told you right
Thank
now,
you.
like, oh, do I want to stay now
Yeah.
for forever?
It's interesting.
I would like to
'cause
move somewhere else for a bit, you know?
I can honestly say that I have really no desire to leave London, to be honest.
Really?
My only desire to leave London is I don't want to be paying rent for the rest of my life. That will be the reason I leave London, is because I want to not pay rent anymore.
I thought it might come up actually, but like this is a great point because like
Mm,
if you're trying to buy a house in London, it's
mm,
basically fairly unfeasible for like the majority of people, unless you save like 20 years
mm.
or you have help from the bank of mum and dad. I think like buying in London is quite unfeasible.
Yeah, I'm not planning on living in London unless I win the lottery.
Yeah, exactly, right? But like essentially, if you are in London, you're sort of resigning yourself to paying rent for, I don't know, the
Yeah,
rest of eternity,
yeah.
which
Um,
is a prospect I didn't really like, which again is,
yeah,
you
no,
know,
I agree. I resent the fact that I am paying rent. But
treat you like a landlord.
my landlord's lovely, actually. She's really nice. Yeah.
Is she?
I've only,
That's good to know.
I have met
That
her
is a
once.
that is a rare
She's quite
success
nice.
story. Yeah.
I still resent the fact I'm paying her a big chunk of my pay every month.
Well, she's nice to you, right? So it's fine.
I'm paying her to be nice to me.
That's
she's
true.
not giving me bed and board out of the kindness of her heart.
Is she not?
But that is the capitalist society that we all prescribe to. So, there's no.
You tell them, James.
Yeah. So you're not sure if you're going to see yourself in Manchester. Okay, that's fair. That's
I
fair.
mean, I could see myself
we
in
respect
Manchester.
honesty. We respect honesty.
I could. I would.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in, like, I'm saying that I would, but
Mm-hmm.
I could be anywhere.
Okay.
I'm a free spirit, so to say.
The penultimate question. It's actually not. I always like to use the word penultimate, even though I use it in completely the wrong way, because I like to say penultimate as in like the final, but it's the second to last. In the
Is it just because you like saying big words, mate?
I do. I like big words. I like big words, like aforementioned. Love it. And therefore, therefore in Spanish is por lo tanto. So, yeah.
Muchas gracias.
Yes, sí, señor. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
No ahora, por favor.
See, Duolingo only goes so far. This is an ad not to use Duolingo.
Nosotros ocupado. Nosotros ocupado. So, this is the final question for Vincent Wong. Snog, marry, avoid Manchester, London, and Northern Ireland. I want to keep it short and sweet, but I want some context. So we'll start with marry.
Ooh, I would say marry Manchester. It's very stable. It's got all
diplomatic
I
answer.
need. It's not a diplomatic answer. I think it's a true answer.
There right now.
Yeah.
You've said avoid, shock horror.
Yeah. Avoid Northern Ireland.
Is that your?
That's my avoid.
You're avoiding Northern Ireland. Why are you avoiding Northern Ireland? Even though is it?
It's
be careful how you say it, because your parents are in Northern Ireland. So
true, but would they watch this podcast? Perhaps not.
Yes.
So
they are subscribed. 110%.
Like and subscribe.
They are 100%.
Make sure to click the bell icon to make sure you get notifications about every new upload that James does. Or his jamming podcast.
Wait there. Who are you snogging?
I will snog London.
Oh.
But it's odd though, because I feel like every time I come back to London, I discover something new. Yeah, like James
didn't give it back. It's okay. What was I going to say? So you have a little cheeky bit on the side.
Yeah. I think like every time I come back to London, as just said, like because I'm coming down as like a visitor, I feel like I go to like a lot more museums or galleries.
Yeah.
Because I don't know like how you feel, right? But like I feel like
I spend all my day in galleries.
Objectively false, but anyway. But like, do you feel like if you're in London, like you're living in London, you're living your daily life, do you feel like you would go out of your, like, I feel like you'd have to go out of your way to go to museums and stuff. Whereas like if you're,
I just find myself naturally in that atmosphere, in that place of being. I wake up and I'm in a museum.
What's your favorite museum?
And then I'm conversing about art.
Okay, what's your favorite artist?
Finer things in life.
What's your favorite artist, James?
My favorite artist.
Yeah.
Probably Chapel Rowan.
What's your favorite song? I've heard she's got like quite a lot of hits.
I actually really like Chapel Rowan. She's really good.
What's your favorite song?
My song is actually quite controversial. It's not a small song, but it's not like her like. I really like Coffee.
Okay.
But it's a bit sad.
But is that just because you drink coffee and then you sort of identify with the song?
No, it's really good. It's a bop.
I think
all of her songs are good.
What's it about?
Or their songs. Sorry, I'm not assuming any gender.
What's the song Coffee about then? It's a very sad story.
And then we had coffee. Something like that.
We will also have coffee later, for those of you wondering.
Not now.
And for the behind-the-scenes content, please subscribe to our Patreon.
No, that's not the final. That's not the final out. That's not the final outro.
Is it not?
The final outro is: I want Vincent Wong to give you a message which you should remember till the day you die. The floor's yours, Vincent.
Live, laugh, love James Vernon.
Michael Scott.
Don't get that reference.
Bye. See you later, guys.